Welcome back to Analytical Strategy. Today we are going to be discussing my top 5 greatest allies to have on your side when playing in the game of Survivor. Being able to get to the end and win the game is one thing, but it is impossible to achieve that feat without core alliances and people that have your back no matter what the circumstances. You need those players that will give you the heads up if your name is on the chopping block, or even better, they will take one for the team and try and save you. Now, loyalty is a trait that is difficult to find in Survivor, but not only are the following players loyal to their core alliances, but they have contributed to the success of many legendary Survivor players through being that person that they can rely on, they can talk strategy with, and they can assist in getting them to the end of the game. Some names I mention in this list may be surprising at first, but when you break down their individual game, you can really understand why they make such good allies overall if you are on their side. Now, firstly, I'm going to be discussing the specialist, yes, Sheppard. Now, this may come as a surprise to some people, with Philip commonly being known as someone who is difficult to work with, but remember, we only see the wild side of Philip due to the edit and the type of player that loves playing up his goofy persona to the camera. In terms of being an ally, Philip is close to perfect. In Redemption Island, as Philip was learning the BR rules from the man Boston Rob himself, he voted however Rob wanted him to, and Philip was the one that took all the negativity from the opposing tribe. Philip was extremely loyal to Rob, and whilst doing so, he looked like the bad guy in the process. So when Rob got to the end of the game, it was an easy win, especially as Philip also discussed how good Rob was a player in his final tribal council speech. Someone who is so loyal to you that they can commend your game at the end is a phenomenal ally to have on your side. In Caramoan, when Philip used the BR rules to construct Salthar Us and his own power alliance, he was extremely loyal to each of those individuals within this formation, and so loyal that he took a bullet for them when the three amigos constructed the plan to become immune via Malcolm's two idols and Reynolds winning immunity. Philip is a great person to play the game with. He's extremely loyal. He's entertaining in times where people would be bored out of their brain. Remember, we only see short durations of the show. These days are so long, so having someone like Philip around would be great value overall. But most importantly, he will fall on his own sword to get people in his alliance further in the game. He's an amazing ally to have on your side. He's one of the best characters the show has ever seen, and he's someone that I would love to see play the game again. Up next, we're going to be talking about a 3-time player, and that is Amanda Kimmel. Amanda is a fantastic person to be aligned with, again due to her loyalty, but she also has a highly strategic mind that you can bounce ideas off to figure the best way forward for you both. I know if I was out there playing the game, I would want someone on my side who I could almost fully trust, but also be able to talk about the game and how to proceed overall. Amanda has to make this list, as her 2 closest allies have gotten to the end with her and both won the game. Amanda is a phenomenal player, and my biggest fear of playing the game with her would be if she learned how to manage a jury. If she could get that down pat, she would be a force in this game. Currently, we are yet to see a groundbreaking final tribal performance from Amanda, so again, she's loyal. She's someone you can talk strategy with. She's someone who knows how to get to the end, and someone who you could have a really good chance of beating if you know how to manage a jury. You really cannot ask for much more in a partner than Amanda, but you really need to be in her closest 1 or 2 allies. As mentioned, she is that good at this game. If you are outside of that core, she will turn on you in a heartbeat. She is such a great player, a great ally, and one person that I want to see back in action after all this time. Our next player in this countdown has also made back-to-back final tribals, and that is Russell Hantz. People may think this is a crazy pick, but that is only because Russell has the reputation of being one of the biggest manipulators and villains the game has ever seen, which is true, but to the people in his core alliance and original tribe, he's actually extremely loyal. Russell firstly has a phenomenal ability to find hidden immunity idols, but more importantly, as an ally he is willing to play them on you in order to progress his alliance further in the game. A lot of people may be like, I want to keep this idol just for myself, or I want to use it down the track, whilst Russell is like, I'll use this whenever I need to further my game and my alliance's game, and if I use it, I'll just go out and find it again when it's put back in play. Russell completely put his game on the line for his ally Parvati in Survivor Heroes vs Villains. He gave her the idol in hope that Tyson switched up his vote, which he did, and Russell could have easily gone home that night if the opposing alliance stuck to their original plan. In addition to this, due to his reputation, he is one of the biggest shields you could ever ask for in Survivor. If people come after your alliance, it is a good chance that he will be targeted ahead of you, the perfect trait to have in an ally. He is obviously an amazing strategist as well, and similarly to know Amanda hasn't been able to perfect the art of the final tribal cancel yet. So again, Russell is super loyal to his core group. He's willing to play hidden immunity idols on his alliance even if it exposes him to go home. He is a huge shield and based on his track record has a difficult time closing when it comes to crunch time. So whilst Russell has this reputation of being disloyal and dishonest, if you are on his side that is not the case at all. He will protect you in the game. He is a great ally to have, but a scary player not to have on your side. Up next we have another brilliant strategist of the game, and I was very close to naming him number 1, and that is Stephen Fishbach. The reason I was pretty close to putting Fishbach number 1 is along the same lines to the likes of Amanda, who's been able to assist in getting her closest allies to the end of the game and win. Fishbach has also done this as well. However, the key difference in both of Fishbach's number 1 alliance members is they have received every single vote of the season. Yes, both JT and Jeremy, when they got to the final tribal council, received every single vote to win the game, and they have to give some credit to Stephen in order for that to happen. Firstly, in Survivor Token Chains, JT and Fishbach were like two peas in a pod. They made a range of strategic decisions together and they were able to get all the way to the end without any hiccups. In the final tribal, when Fishbach was asked whether he would have taken JT or Aaron to the end if he won that immunity, he reluctantly said Aaron, as he believed that's what the jury wanted to hear. And if he were to win that final immunity, I genuinely believe he hadn't made that final decision. And I think JT was that good at this season that Stephen still would have brought him to the end, as they were such close allies. In Survivor Cambodia, Stephen was with Jeremy all the way, and part of his decision to align with Jeremy was when he thought other alliances would target them, they would go for Jeremy ahead of him. But again, Jeremy was just way too likable for that to occur. Fishbach and Jeremy again made every single decision together when they were both in the game, and bounced a range of ideas off each other in order to make that final decision. There is no arguing that Fishbach played a major role in both JT and Jeremy's wins, and was the perfect ally for both of these players. He is ridiculously intelligent, and he knows the game inside and out, and to have a play like that that's locked into a core duo is extremely beneficial for those players playing the game. And finally, my number 1 ally in the history of Survivor, in an extremely close race, goes to the person who went out of her way to protect her number 1 ally. And without this person, we would not have Tony as a 1-time winner, let alone a 2-time winner, and that is Trish Hegarty. Trish did whatever she could to support her core alliance, even when they didn't include her in their plans. For players like Tony to be able to make a plan that didn't include Trish, leave her completely out of the vote, come back to camp and for Trish to say, I understand why you didn't include me, but let's continue to soldier on together and actually mean it, is the perfect ally for any contestant playing the game. She continually put fires out for Tony when he made these types of moves. She was able to reel Jeffra back into the numbers when Jeffra had flipped to Spencer, Jeremiah and Tasha, and if it wasn't for Trish being that person for Tony who stuck by him no matter what, Tony wouldn't have been able to continue being the madman he was, and he probably wouldn't have won the game. That's how good of an ally Trish was to Tony. In addition to this, she was also the key person to bring Cass over at the merge to flip the game on its head. She was the person who aligned with her swap tribe to get rid of the likes of Cliff and Lindsay, who she did not have a good relationship with on the Brawn tribe, and when that alliance was formed, she stayed true to them. She always voted the way she said, and honestly is an extremely underrated player who may have even obtained a few winning votes if she were to get to the end. When I break down Trish's game, she has to be the number 1 ally of all time, as without Trish we don't have the greatest player of all time in Tony. All of these great winners need to rely on others to go deep and become legends of Survivor, and Trish absolutely played a major role in Tony's legacy. I would love to see Trish back playing again and to see if she could do this damage control as effectively as she did in Cagayan. So there you have it, my top 5 allies in Survivor history. Who did I miss? Who do you think is the best? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for everyone who is watching my content, and please subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying it. It would be greatly appreciated. This is Analytical Strategy and we are signing out once again. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.